Hello, sixth graders. This is a video to show you your homework for Monday, September 21st, which will be due on Tuesday. If you're an A-Day kid, if you are a B-Day kid, I will see you in class on Tuesday, September 22nd, and your homework will be due on the 23rd, which is Wednesday. So you always have a day to complete that homework. We'll start it in class, and then you'll be expected to give it a shot. Again, this is tough work, as I said in class. We're just working on trying to understand the concept of using the scale in our mapping. So I'm going to click on this homework, the mapping skills. And what this is showing us is this video that you are watching right now, which good thing you're watching it so that I can give you some more little tips. And then the homework is to finish the in-class practice worksheet. And that's within that packet that we started in class. You're going to take a picture of that worksheet when it's complete and then upload it to Google Classroom. You'll notice in here, there is no document that I have attached here. So you are going to be attaching your homework in actually a PDF, which is just going to be a photo, and you will upload it that way. So I'm going to switch out here, and we're going to see if we can get you to understand this scale activity. All right, sixth graders, in your packet that I sent home with you, this is the worksheet that you will need to find for today. Okay, I told you it's the mapping skills one just because that one was actually labeled, but we're going to use the back of it. This is the one that we used in class today. This is your homework. Now, we started it in class, but I want to review, especially for those of you that were not here in class. I just want to go over this scale and how to read this scale. Okay, you notice that it starts at 0. I have kind of color coded the top part with orange, and I've color coded the bottom part with purple, just to let you see that there's a difference between the top and the bottom. Okay, we're looking at kilometers and we're looking at miles. So we need to pick out which one we are measuring in, and then that way we can figure out a comparison. So it's 1,000 kilometers or 1,000 miles is going to be a difference in when you measure. So I like to use a ruler. I'll show you what happens if you don't have a ruler. I'm going to use the millimeters side. So I put that up to the scale. And the thing that I marked here, it doesn't go all the way to the end of the scale. You have to look at those little kind of dashes or hashes on the scale, and that will tell you where the end of that measurement is. So if I go from 0 to the end, it's about 23. You can see real close up. It's 23 on my ruler. Okay, so then down here, I can write 1,000 kilometers equals 23 millimeters. Okay, so that's what I will write down below. All right, next, if I want to use miles to measure, then I am going to do the same thing, but notice miles is a little bit longer down at the bottom. So I'll again start at 0 with my millimeters, my 0 millimeters on the 0 of miles, and I go to this line right here. Again, it doesn't go all the way to the end. I go to the hash mark that's pulling down toward the word miles, and that's 1,000 miles, and it's 30 millimeters. Okay, so see that on the scale? So that's the first thing that you have to figure out is how you are going to measure using your ruler. So again, I will write 30 millimeters equals 1,000 miles. Okay, so I like to put that on my paper so that I know what I'm measuring. Okay, that's kind of the first step. If you do not have a ruler, then you can get a Post-it note like this, or if you don't have a Post-it note, you can tear a piece of paper off of your out of your notebook, and you can use that. And then all you have to do is line it up on your scale. Start it at the beginning. The Post-it note is nice because it kind of allows you to have a little stickiness to it. So then I'm just going to make hash marks on each one of those lines, and then I can make this my new scale. Okay, so I'll show you what that looks like. All right, so kiddos, you can see that I've used this down here. I've started at 0 on this end, went to 100 miles and made my little hash mark just like it is on the scale, and then went even further to 1,000 and then made my hash mark just like it is on the scale. Actually, this one's 400, sorry, my fault. I'll get that changed. And then up at the top, I did the same thing. I just moved this down here for kilometers. I started at 0 and went to 400 where the hash was on the scale, and wrote 400 kilometers, and then I did the 1,000 kilometer hash mark as well. So that's how you, if you do not have a ruler, that's how you will help yourself to measure with using the scale and a piece of paper. All right, now we need to go on and answer these questions. So really it's asking, what is the distance from Bogota to Quito? We have 2 locations in each of them that we need to find the distance from one to the next. It's always a good idea to practice direction as well. This is South America, so we'll have north, south, east, and west again, but we'll want to not only find distance, but also direction. So we're gonna go from Bogota to Quito. So I like to, once I find out where they're located, I like to draw a straight line connecting the 2. Once we have our line drawn in, then we want to measure from about the middle of the star to the middle of the second star, so the middle of the star. So that's 15. It's halfway between the 10 and 20. You can see that it's 15. So when I think about my scale down here, I have 23 here. And I know that half of 30 is 15. So it would be easiest, we're just going to go the easiest route because we're 6th graders. We're not going for perfection. So we're going to skip to the miles, and half of 1,000 miles would be 500 miles. So we can say that the distance from Bogota to Quito would be 500 miles. So you'll write 500 miles on the line. And then if we figure out which direction that would be, we would be traveling, if this is north, this is west, we would be traveling from north to west. So we're in north, we're going to the west, but it's not directly west. So it would be southwest. Now that I have my straight line drawn in, I'll take my ruler and put my ruler up and start at the 0. And I want to measure about approximately between the 2 stars, so the middle of the star to the middle of the star. And as you can see, that's 15. Okay, so 15 millimeters. So when I go to my scale, I can say, well, half of 30 is 15. So I can use this part down here. So 1,000 miles is 30 millimeters. Well, I had 15, so I want to divide this in half. So half of this is 500. So my answer to number 1 here is 500 miles. All right, next, now that I have 500 miles drawn in, I want to look at direction. So if I'm going from Bogota to Quito, which direction am I moving in? I'm moving south, but not directly south. I'm moving west, but not directly west. So I would be considered moving southwest. So I can add that, even though it doesn't ask it, I can add that to my answer here. So the first answer would be 500 miles, and it's moving, you're moving southwest. All right, we're gonna do the next one together. Distance from La Paz to Brasilia. All right, next, we are going to do the distance from La Paz to Brasilia. And I'm gonna show you how to use your measurement little piece of paper. Okay, so I drew my line in. We can probably notice that we're already moving in from La Paz and we're going directly east. So we're gonna take our little chart that we have here, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put that right on the corner because that starts at 0, and then I'm gonna make a mark at 1,000. Okay. I'm making it right on the map. It's okay to write on your map. And then I'm going to pick this up and I'm going to put the 0 at the beginning right on that 1,000. So I know I'm gone 1,000 miles already. And then I'm going to readjust my sticky or piece of paper and make another mark on my 1,000. It's easier when it's flat. Okay, so I'm almost there, but not quite. All right. And then when I look at the distance between that and 400, and again, it's approximate. So when I look at the distance between that and 400, it's about right in the middle. So then I can say that, okay, so we went one distance of 1,000. And if you want to write that in to remember, that's fine. We have another distance of 1,000. So that's 2,000 total. And then if we have halfway between 400, that would be 200. So 1,000, 2,000, 200. So that would be the distance for number 2. So now because I use this scale down here, you'll notice it's kilometers. So I need to make sure that I put my label in, just like in math when you're doing an addition problem or subtraction or whatever kind of problem you're doing, a story problem, that you label it correctly. Because if I put miles, this would be an incorrect answer. It needs to be kilometers for number 2, and up here on number 1, we measured it in miles. And that's okay if we switch back and forth, as long as we know which one we're using and we label it correctly, okay? And then the next one would be which direction am I traveling? So I'm starting at La Paz, okay? So I'm going in this direction, which is east. There's my east, my compass. So I'd be traveling east, so I would add that to my answer. That's how you use your ruler if you have one, or you use your paper scale if that's easier for you, or you don't have a ruler. So good luck. Again, this is work for at home, just to practice and to work on. We're not going to be perfect at it, and that's okay. It is for us to practice. When you finish, you are going to take a picture of this and you're going to upload it. So I'll show that to you in just a second. All right, now that I am done with my worksheet, I'm ready to turn it in. So again, I'm going to click down here, even though there's not a document that I filled it out on. I just snapped a picture of it on my iPad. So I'm going to click down here and I'm going to add attachment. I need to make sure that I grab that. I'm going to pick a photo. So I'm going to go right in here to pick a photo. And I'm going to go to all photos or a recent photo. So I'm going to click up here. Either way is fine. And I'm going to click on the photo that I want. Now you have to wait a little bit until it uploads. Depending upon how big it is, it shouldn't be too big. It shouldn't take too long. But you want to make sure that it shows up before you click any further. So there it is. Again, be patient while you are doing this. So there's my attachment, and then all I have to do is click Turn In. I turn that in. Yes, one attachment will be submitted. I click on Turn In. All right, now it says Unsubmit. Down here it says Assignment Turned In. So I know that it has been turned in. You want to make sure that you see where it says Assignment Turned In before you get out and move on. Sometimes if we move too fast and we just start clicking, then the assignment doesn't actually get attached and I'm not able to take a look at it. To get out, click up here. And there it is. You can click back. All right, and you'll notice that your homework for Monday is no longer colored. It's grayed out. That means that you've handed it in. All right, good luck with everything. As always, if you have questions, don't hesitate to contact me. Take care.